This is how ancient debris generates in Minecraft. It's the most valuable ore in the game, necessary to craft the best gear in the game, together with a Netherite smithing template, which is even more rare. In this video I will show you 4 ways to find ancient debris and how to get the smithing template as fast as possible. Are you ready? Let's break it down. There are 4 ways to find ancient debris: using beds, by mining, using TNT, and by raiding bastions. But before you start with these methods, let's see where ancient debris actually generates and how much you need for a full netherite gear. Technically, ancient debris can spawn in every Y level of the nether, but the chance to find it above Y24 is incredibly small, so you better don't waste your time looking for it there. Ancient debris generates mostly between Y8 and Y24, with the peak at Y16. However, that's only for Java Edition. In Bedrock Edition there is no peak and it generates equally between Y8 and Y24. And besides that, ancient debris generates up to 3 times more in Bedrock than in Java. So if you play Bedrock, you're in luck with this one. But no matter what version you are playing, finding ancient debris can take time, especially if you're not using the right techniques. But don't worry, because you actually don't need that much of it. Just remember to bring a diamond pickaxe with you, because otherwise you're not going to be able to mine the ancient debris. You'll need 4 ancient debris ores to create 1 netherite ingot, which can upgrade 1 item. So for full netherite armor, you just need to find 16 ancient debris ores. And for all your tools and weapons, you will need 24. So to create full netherite gear, you will need to find 40 ancient debris ores. If that sounds like a lot to you, don't worry, because you will see how easy this can be. Number 1. Using beds. The first way to find ancient debris is to use beds. This is because you cannot sleep in the nether, and if you try to do so, you will regret it soon after your bed exploded. But this is exactly why beds are the best and easiest way to look for ancient debris early game if you take caution beginning. Just take a stack of wool and a stack of wood with you. Then you can craft yourself a lot of beds once you are down there. That's more efficient than coming to the nether with your inventory full of beds. You will also need some fireproof stairs, like cobblestone stairs, and some food. Using this method could give you up to 30 ancient debris per hour. So get yourself to Y15, not 16. This is because you mine on both level 15 and 16 when you stand on this level, and just a little more below the lava lakes. But don't just start digging a tunnel yet. Be aware that you don't mine in a basalt delta biome, because basalt takes forever to mine and doesn't explode as easy as netherite. Also, make sure that you mine on a chunk border. A chunk is a 16 by 16 segment of a Minecraft world. The thing is, ancient debris generates per chunk. So mining on a chunk border gives you a higher chance of finding ancient debris, because you expose 2 chunks at the same time, or even 4 when you are on the corner of a chunk. To show chunk borders in Java Edition, just press F3 and G. It's as easy as that. On Bedrock Edition, chunk borders work the same, but the problem is that you cannot show them like in Java Edition. To know if you are on a chunk border in Bedrock Edition, you should go to the 00 coordinates in your world. Or just make sure that you can divide either your X or Z axis by 16. If so, you are on a chunk border. Now dig a long tunnel on the chunk border. Then make branches on the side of the tunnel, but only on the chunk borders. Now you could just randomly place and explode beds, but it will cost you a lot of health and it's dangerous. But there is a safe way to use beds easily. First, mine all the blocks in front of you, without mining the ones in front of your feet. Then place the bed as far as you can. There is now a 3 block gap between you and the bed. Now place 1 more block to make that gap 4 blocks long. And lastly, place a stair block sideways in front of you like this. If you now look through those stairs and explode the bed, you will take just minimum damage. Even without armor, you just take 1 heart of damage. With iron armor, you just take half a heart of damage, and with diamond armor, you practically don't even take any damage. And besides that, you don't even have to risk that you will get lava over you or catch fire. Now that the bed is exploded, look around for ancient debris blocks, as these ores are fire and blast resistant and will stay exposed after the explosion. You can also quench some fires around you, because sometimes there is an ancient debris block hiding underneath a flame. But don't spend too much time doing this. When you are done, just continue your path straight. Dig some blocks into the next wall and repeat this process. Whenever you walk into too much lava, you can turn back to your main tunnel and try a different branch. But if it's just 1 lava block, you can place a normal block and the lava will disappear. Number 2. Mining. Maybe you think mining for ancient debris is a waste of time, but you would be wrong. Of course, you shouldn't use this method early game without any enchantments, because mining all the netherrack will take ages. But this is different if you have an enchanted pickaxe. Mining with the right enchantments could give you 40 ancient debris per hour. The 3 enchantments you definitely want on your pickaxe are Unbreaking 3, Mending and Efficiency 2 or higher. The first 2 are just so that you will only need 1 pickaxe. The reason you only need Efficiency level 2 is because it will break netherrack instantly already, just like an Efficiency 5 pickaxe. but still, the higher the better, especially when you need to mine blackstone. Having this pickaxe will make it very easy for you to dig tunnels through the netherrack. You should mine on the chunk border like you are some kind of digging machine by mining in circles like this. So you are mining a 4x4 area. As you can see, this goes really fast and you will find ancient debris soon. When your pickaxe needs to be repaired, you can use all the ore blocks on your way like quartz ores to repair it. Number 3. Using TNT. Similar as the bed method, you can use TNT to explode an area, but with TNT you can keep a safe distance and you can make a chain explosion of as many TNT as you like. Well, more like as many TNT as you can, because even though this is a very efficient method, it's certainly also very expensive. So you won't be able to do this until you made yourself a gunpowder farm. But if you have one, it could give you over 80 ancient debris per hour. Using this method, it's better to dig a tunnel at Y13 or 14 to lower the chances to get these big lava falls. Just dig one long tunnel on a chunk border as long as you like. Then place the TNT. You could just place them all in one line, but it's more expensive and unnecessary. To save TNT, you can also skip 1 or even 2 blocks. This way, you get a maximum explosion impact with less TNT. Light up the last TNT and get a safe distance. Once your TNT is exploding, follow the explosions and look for revealed ancient debris ores. Be careful for the big lava falls. But as you can see, you will find ancient debris spread around this new big tunnel that you made. Now you just have to mine it. Number 4. Looting bastions. But whether you like it or not, you will need to find at least one bastion and loot it if you want to have netherite gear, because these are the only places where you can find the smithing template to upgrade your diamond gear into netherite gear. It might not be the most sustainable way to look for ancient debris, but while you are opening all these chests in these bastions, you have a good chance to find ancient debris ores or netherite scraps in any chest. Most bastions contain at least 5, but some even up to 20 chests, so there is a good chance you will find multiple ancient debris ores. But more important of course is to find at least one smithing template. But first, let's see how to find a bastion. Only one bastion or one fortress can generate in each of these square areas that are 432 by 432 blocks in Java or 480 by 480 in Bedrock. Roughly 2 out of 3 structures will be generated as a bastion instead of a fortress, which makes them more common, except that they cannot be generated in basalt delta biomes, where all structures will be generated as a fortress. So what is the best way to find a bastion? Starting at 00 in your world, somewhere in this area there will be either a fortress or a bastion. You can travel diagonally to 432 in Java or 480 in Bedrock. There is a good chance you will see the structure already. If not, try to cover more of the area until you find one. You can use the same strategy in the other directions. And if you travel further away, just remember the grid pattern of your version so you can check any area in your world. But if you have trouble finding one and you are lazy to explore for more, you could also use the seed map on chunkbase.com. Select your seed, your game version and the nether dimension. Here you can see all the bastions in your world. You can even see which type of bastion it is. But better stick to exploring yourself if you don't want to cheat. When you found a bastion, you need to know that there are 4 types of bastions. Bridges, hoglin stables, housing units and the treasure room. You have a 10% chance to find a smithing template when you open any chest. However, there is one chest in the treasure room that has a 100% chance to contain the smithing template. So ideally you want to find a treasure room bastion. You can easily recognize them by their shape. It's basically a big cube, next to a tower with a bridge that connects them, with these lava pools underneath it. When you enter this cube, you can look down and see a lot of gold blocks in one place. In the chest there you will have a guaranteed smithing template. If you didn't find a treasure room bastion, just explore the one you found and open the chest there, because you still have a 10% chance to find one smithing template. If you really want to become an expert in finding and looting a bastion, you can check my other video, where I will cover everything you need to know and more to master looting bastions. But still, bastions are dangerous places, mostly because of the piglin brutes. They will always attack you, no matter what kind of armor you are wearing. They are very strong and can kill you in just a few hits. And to make it worse, they will disable your shield for 5 seconds if you try to block their attack. And if you hit them, you will also anger the normal piglins around you, and that can make things even more complicated. So, getting to the smithing template could be very challenging. But you can make it a lot easier for yourself however, by bringing a bucket of lava with you and 1 or 2 stacks of building blocks. Be aware of your surroundings and make sure you have space to pile up. When you see or hear a piglin brute, pile up at least 2 blocks, but more is safer of course. Make sure it cannot reach you from the side or something. Then just throw your lava bucket on the piglin brute where it is standing. He will slowly die in the lava, but you don't anger the other piglins around you. Just continue doing this and make your way to the chest. You can do all of this easier and safer when you enter from the roof. You slowly make your way down and you will have enough space above you to pile up if necessary. When you are down there and open the chest, you will anger all the surrounding piglins. But you can avoid it by placing blocks around you and the chest, so that the piglins won't see you opening it. Or if you want, you can place a hopper underneath the chest, but I always prefer to be able to open the chest and see what's inside. Now you can smelt your ancient debris and use the netherite scraps that come out together with gold to create a netherite ingot. Use the smithing template to upgrade your diamond gear into netherite gear using a netherite ingot and a smithing template. But remember that you only have one template now, and you will need to find more or duplicate it for every armor or tool you want to upgrade. To do that, you need 7 diamonds and a netherite block. If you need to find more diamonds, make sure to watch my diamond video, where I will show you the fastest and easiest ways to find diamonds. Or watch my other video about looting bastions, so you can loot them with confidence. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.